the merger between the AB Novo Group and Grasim. And of course, recently we had crucial shareholder approvals coming in for these two big bang mergers, AB Novo being merged with Grasim, and of course the demerger of Aditya Birla Financial Services and the subsequent listing. And for that, we are joined by Sushil Agarwal, joining us exclusively on the phone line. He is a Group CFO of the Aditya Birla Group. Mr. Agarwal, thank you so much for taking out time and speaking first and exclusively to ET Now. Firstly, congratulations on those crucial shareholders nods coming in. But Mr. Agarwal, when the deal was first announced, there was a lot of trepidation and concern in the market regarding the rationale behind the deal and regarding the debt transfer. So how are you able to convince the retail shareholders as well as the institutional shareholders? Because we are given to understand that both these pockets gave a nod to the deal with an overwhelming majority, sir.
Thanks, Ashwin. And, I'm on phone out of India, so I don't know if you can hear me well. First of all, I seriously want to kind of thank all our shareholders, both retail and institutional shareholders, who really kind of participated in and given an overwhelming response to the voting for the merger of Aditya Novo to Grasim. And I can assure all of those shareholders that we are here to create a long-term sustainable returns to our shareholders. So no thanks to the shareholders. I think the point which you are making about initial response of some of the shareholders, or at least from our point of view, it was more media who had possibly didn't really understood the full rationale of the transaction. And I certainly want to kind of take that at our end as well. We didn't do a good job of while explaining the rationale of the transaction. It was in some form misunderstood for a variety of reasons, and we went out, met majority of the shareholders, institutional side, and even conveyed to all our retail shareholders the reasons and rationale of the transaction, and I think the outcome is in front of all of us. So they came forward and supported, and they believed in what is being done. I think generally speaking, if you see that what a shareholder would look normally, you would look for a leadership businesses. You would look for growth potential in those businesses. They would look for efficient players in the sector. They would look for a strong balance sheet. I think they would look for a good governance. With all these, and at the end, they will look for a decent return from a shareholder's point of view. I think we, with this transaction, provides all of these. So I think that's where I think shareholders possibly got convinced that there is a leadership businesses, there is a governance, there is a attractive growth potential in the sectors in which the company will operate in.
Well, now, just to take the conversation forward, you spoke about the importance of having leadership positions in various segments. And if one way to look at the resultant entity, it's quite a behemoth. And clearly, it's going to have a leadership position across various sectors: cement, telecom, financial services, textiles, chemical sectors. So what are some of the plans in some of these sectors going ahead, sir, for the Aditya Birla Group as a conglomerate? Because this marks a landmark transition from the group. There are many synergies that are going to come in from this merger. But these are some of the sectors wherein the resultant entity is going to be quite a significant player in the market. Isn't that right?
Yeah, true, Ashwin. The shareholders will have advantage to participate in steady cash flow operations of the current Grasim existing businesses, while enabling them to have a growth businesses to grow even faster. So, like financial services per se is a growing business, and with the Grasim fold, they can only take benefit of faster growth. In true sense, this company will have a India play, given the sectors in which they have exposure. I believe that recent corporate actions which we have announced, including share split, increase in FI limit, dividend payout policy, will have a larger participation from the shareholders. This company will have a combined revenue of around 60,000 crores and EBITDA of around 12,000 crores. Largest cement player, as you talked about, in the country, among top 5 fund managers, with the funds managed around 230,000 crores. with a leading book of around 30,000 crores in our NBFC business, among top 4 life insurance player in the private sector, and leading global player in VSF, chemical player. So I think clearly the shareholders would be beneficiary of the scale and in which we operate. And particularly, I think from a synergy point of view, just to give you a flavor, the biggest beneficiary will be our non-bank finance company, where we clearly, with a strong balance sheet of Grasim, they can have a benefit of the strong parentage. As you know, in NBFC company, raw material is only finance. Rating and strength of the balance sheet or promoter does play a meaningful role. We believe that we have to kind of if you have to maintain a similar kind of a margin in NBFC company without taking undue risk, the cost of borrowing plays a meaningful role. And if in this case, Grasim does provide will provide that role, and there will be beneficiary. The NBFC company will be beneficiary. Having a strong parentage, I'm sure we will be able to bring down our cost. That will help to grow even faster, and will increase the lenders base with a strong credit profile of the company.
Right, Mr. Agarwal. Now, since you spoke about the NBFC, one big movement that the street is waiting for, of course, is the listing, the inevitable listing of Aditya Birla Financial Services. Now, that, of course, is part of the demerger from the company and the consequent listing plan. So, how's the listing plans working out, sir? And what's the kind of timeline that we can expect for Aditya Birla Financial Services to hit D Street?
So, Ashwin, as you know, the shareholders, which was one of the critical parts for the merger approval, which has already taken place. So, Grasim shareholder approved the transaction on 6th of April, and Nuvo shareholders approved on 10th. Going forward, the shareholders approval or shareholders voting will be filed with NCLT, which is National Tribunal Council, and Council will hear this matter and finally approve the transaction. So typically, we expect that around 2 to 3 months will be taken for this process to get completed, by which the Grasim Nuvo merger will take place, and maybe another 60 odd days for Aditya Birla Financial Services to get listed. So this is the process and timeline which we hope by second quarter we should be able to of the current year we should be able to complete everything.
Second quarter, that's the timeline we're looking for as far as that big bang listing of Aditya Birla Financial Services is concerned. Mr. Agarwal, before I let you go, I can't help but ask you about the progress of the ongoing discussions and the merger between Idea and Vodafone. Now, clearly, that is also a big development that is keeping the Birla Group busy. What are the developments on that front, sir? When do you expect that big bang merger to fructify and get all the necessary regulatory approvals?
So it's on track, Ashwin, and I think we'll do another round of discussion for Idea separately. And before I hang, I think I clearly want to thank all our retail shareholders and institutional shareholders to have participated in an overwhelming way, and this was a good response from all the shareholders. Thank you so much, Ashwin, and we'll have another round of discussion on the second issue.
Mr. Agarwal, thank you so much for throwing more light on those crucial nods that came in for the AB Nuvo Grasim merger, and also the timeline of Aditya Birla Financial Services IPO. And of course, you also reiterated that the merger with Vodafone is on track.
Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/ETNow, and don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at ETNowLive. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/ETNow.